So, why is this channel called Pushing Film? I'm sure a lot of you have wondered, and I know I've been asked this question a few times. So I'm going to do a quick video, talk about this subject, and a couple little other things that have been on my mind. So welcome back everyone. Sorry it's been a little while, but rest assured I've got plenty of ideas in the works and more videos coming up. So about the main topic of this video, why the channel is called Pushing Film and what that means to myself. So I'll start off with a little story. I went on a road trip pretty recently with a bunch of friends, one of which was a photographer who's always been curious about shooting film, and he's experimented here and there. But before heading out, I used the opportunity to say to him, hey, do you want to borrow one of my old cameras I've got sitting around with no film in it, and take it along with your digital camera and shoot a roll, see how you go. And I know a lot of you might have remembered this camera from one of our earlier videos, but it's this Casino CT1 SLR camera. Nothing fancy, but I haven't been using it for a while. So I gave it to my friend. Throughout the trip, he shot one roll of film over the period of about 4 days. And when he got the results back, he was absolutely stoked on them. He loved the shots, probably even more than a lot of the digital photos, of which he shot hundreds throughout the trip. Just by doing that and giving that friend a taste of the film shooting experience, he's now hooked on it. He went and bought himself a Nikon FE and used that with existing Nikon lenses and really gotten into the film full swing. So not only was that a really good feeling for me to have someone else enjoy film as much as I do and having that same first-time experience, but I'm pretty sure it's something he'll find rewarding way down the track. So that's sort of in a nutshell what Pushing Film is all about when we started the channel. I know that Pushing Film is a play on words. Obviously with push processing black and white film, you refer to that as Pushing Film, but we also started it as that play on words of pushing film onto everyone else because it's something we enjoyed, we really loved, and we started the channel to try and push film onto our friends, onto people who've been curious throughout making these videos. So why should you be pushing film in that sense? Because personally, I really hate it when companies like Fuji discontinue some of my favorite films, like the 1600 speed color stuff that I love shooting for especially night photography, and another classic black and white film, the Fuji Acros 100. These are films that were available everywhere, only within the last couple of years, and now stock is really getting hard to find and dried up. So I think that one small thing that all of us can do is try and push film onto our friends, encourage the continuation of film photography and get more people into it. Because if more of us support the film photography industry, that's how I think we can make a really big difference in helping keep film photography alive years down the track. So whenever I get an opportunity to let one of my friends use a film camera, borrow one, even I've given film cameras away, I find it's a really rewarding experience for me, and it also ends up being a rewarding experience for them. Any photographer friends you have that shoot digital have always been curious about film, you never know. The more people that get into film, the more film that gets sold, the more that these manufacturers are less likely to discontinue stocks that we all love, and also means that small and independent companies, and especially some of the mid-level companies like Lomography, will continue to put out new films that we'll all get to try years down the track. So encourage pushing film onto your friends, and it's really important to support those companies who support film photography. So even if you're going to buy expired film online, try and also buy new film. Support local stores and small labs, help keep them alive. Now I know that a lot of people probably think this isn't going to make much of a difference in the long run, but even if that's the case, there's not much to lose, and all you're doing is sharing something that you really enjoy with other people, with your friends, with other photographers, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. So on a related topic, I was recently contacted by Lomography and asked if I wanted to do a review for one of their new black and white films. And that film is Berlin Kino 400. Now, I'm working on a review for this already. I've shot a roll and I've developed it, and the results are really nice. So my next video is going to be a review on this film, which is actually a repackaged motion picture film from the 60s, I think, but the results are really nice. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. And it's great that companies like Lomography are putting out new films like this. Even if they're repackaged old films, I think it's really good to try and support new releases like this to try and keep film alive in the same vein as what I'm talking about in this video. And one last thing before I go is another topic I've mentioned before, is that I really want to start doing film photography workshops here in Melbourne. And I know a lot of people have already expressed interest in this and said that they would come to a workshop if I was to run one. And I've gotten messages through Instagram. So if there's anyone else who's really interested in that, I'm thinking of doing the first one either really low cost or even free by an invite-only system. So anyone who is really interested and thinks they can make a small film photography workshop in the next few months, probably July or August, please let me know, and I want to really get the ball rolling on that and continue to do more workshops on specialized parts of film photography down the track in the future. So think about the future of film photography and where you want it to go, help support the community, and if you have an old point and shoot, maybe let a friend borrow it and shoot a roll. All right guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one, which will be that review on Berlin Kino 400. Bye.